Hey everyone, Angelo here, Hollywood filmmaker, most successful screenwriter in the history of the world. I'm on my balcony. I haven't been making many videos at all lately. I've been very busy, but I'm trying to make more. Uh, Still in my screenwriting classes. I'm probably going to be in them for like another year. I realized I'm going to hit, how long have I been in them? Since like sometime in 2021. It's 2022? Oh, so I've already gone through over a year of them, and I know I'll have probably another year or so of them. It's great. I'm learning so much. I'm like, oh, I'm understanding this in a way that I didn't even know how to learn it at first, and now I'm like really getting. It's not about pleasing the teachers. It's about mastering what am I doing? Like, what is this process? What am I trying to achieve? The type of assignments we do, it's not like real writing. It's not like an actual story that you would try and adapt into a film or a TV show. But it's more like practicing small scenes where you're trying to practice one specific skill within certain constraints to isolate that skill. And all of us make mistakes on all our assignments every week, and we try and learn from them. We write down our mistakes, we correct for them. When we try and diagram out our next or design our next story, like we try and identify stuff there in our process that's leading us astray, and do it again and again. So we basically just do that for like 2 months or so. So it's great. I've been car free in LA. Been thinking about this for about a year now. It'll be probably next week. Actually, technically, I had a rental car, so add another week after my car was destroyed. What, October 18th, October 13th? I can't remember. And actually, when was my first car destroyed? The one I was sleeping in. I don't even remember what. That was October. That was October 13th, I think, 2019. And then in 2021. When I lost that car in a hit and run, I was sleeping in my apartment that time. What? Oh well, it doesn't matter. But we're about at a year. So what's it been like getting through LA without a car? I'm very lucky where I live. I live Hollywood, basically Koreatown, but actually I'm in Hollywood. So there's, first of all, lots of stuff within walking distance. Almost everything I need. There's several retro movie theaters around here and specialty programming movie theaters, close by. There's metro stops around here. There's lots of bus lines by where I live. There's lots of scooters, and then there's ride shares, but I've tried to fall away from using those because it's kind of stressful just being in traffic, even if you're in someone else's car. Sometimes you get drivers not a good experience. One guy, he's like, hey, it's Saturday, you know what that means it is. You know what that means, right? I'm like, no. He's like, it means it's Big Tip Saturday. I'm like, reported him to Lyft and don't get a ride with him again. And he said he hadn't gotten a tip all night, and I was there in the morning getting a ride from him. Anyways, so I'm like learning different things about how to get around. It could be much better. LA is trying to make it better, but they could be trying a lot more, and the people here have to be urging for it. But overall, I'd say great. It's been great getting around without a car. And again, I'm in an area where I have a metro stop very close by. I have a bike as well, I should say that. The metro is pretty grimy in LA, depending on time of day. If you go during the day, it just kind of feels pretty safe, but you go at night, I don't know, it's like, oh boy, people having mental episodes, and one guy testing me, asking me, hey, do you have the time? Like, all alone on the Chinatown platform at like 11:30 at night, nobody on the street, nobody anywhere. And I know he was testing me, so I looked real firm. I did this, it was happening while I was live streaming. I was holding the phone. I was like, yeah, it's 11:27. I didn't even get snappy with him like that. It's just like, yeah, 11:27. I was looking straight. You could just see, like, I'm a person of respect back up, but I wasn't being so hostile. Like, I would give him no choice but to, like, challenge me back. And there was some other guy just tweaking, going out of his mind all around us. But overall, great. I took a bus the other day. I haven't taken a bus in a while because usually I'll either ride my bike or ride a scooter. The buses don't run often enough. So, and then they get packed sometimes. It's not necessarily an issue either. Just really not running often enough during like rush hour. That's a big problem where I was having to wait for a bus. I'm like, screw this. I'd rather just walk home from work. But being on a bus is great. The streets, you feel how rough the streets are. Like the pavement is bad. Like I was feeling that on the 16 bus the other day on 3rd Street. I was going a few miles there for a writers event. That was great. I met a bunch of writers. That was awesome. And yeah, it was like it was like we were in a World War II airplane, like in turbulence or something. Or an old rickety plane, I should say. It wasn't like, didn't feel danger, but it's like, wow. I wanted to say the person next to me, I'm like, wow, this is really bumpy, but I don't want to sound like some rube. And there could be more dedicated bus lanes and all that, but LA is getting there. So this weekend, I'm going to ride the metro today all the way out to Highland Park. It's free metro rides across the system. I believe the bus as well. Yesterday through tomorrow, because they just opened the K line going south. I'm like, that's awesome, man. The metro is a lifesaver. Could run more often, could be safer, and not just safer. I don't mean like, just drag everybody who has a mental episode off there. First of all, the police are mainly worried about fare evasion. Screw the fare evasion. Who cares? You take that money that you're paying police tens of millions of dollars to watch for fare evaders for $1.75 ticket. Just give people free tickets. Come on. And give resources for mental health, for rehabilitation, for rehab, for housing. But anyways, whole different issue. But yeah, I'd have to say overall it's great. Getting to downtown on the metro is awesome. When I go to the Alamo Draft House, the metro station leads directly to the plaza where it is. Like, it's right there. It's beautiful. I'm like, this is awesome. I used to take lifts there, and it was so stressful being stuck in traffic and all these like horribly designed roads where you're wedged in and people are constantly trying to get out and turn left. And I've seen near accidents coming back from there. And I know accidents happen all the time. And it's funny, I realized at a certain point, don't blame bad drivers. People are rushing to get through badly designed intersections. If you design streets to get people off cars and get people onto public transit and ride bikes and stuff better, and have places to store your bikes and all that, and have safer streets so they feel safe, on a nice bike or out on the metro holding their, shopping and stuff, they'll do it. So, people are going to rush, yeah, but that doesn't mean they're a bad person. Means, okay, like, it means posting a sign or having a possibility of getting a fine is not enough. Anyways, but they are trying to expand a lot of the metro. It's been fun getting around. I'm looking forward to today. I'm going to take my bike on the metro, ride way out on the Gold Line. I love the Gold Line. It's beautiful. I only rode one stop there, and it was awesome. I'm like, oh, we're above ground, and like elevated too. Sorry, I started drinking coffee. I got this Korean instant coffee called Maxim. It's pretty good. And I don't regret it. I hope I never drive a car again. Not never drive, but I hope I never have to buy a car again. I'm getting all choked up thinking about it. Just such a, like, the storage, the maintenance. I'm like, I was spending so much time trying to learn how to fix my car and do oil changes and stuff. And it's like, why not just not have one? That's great. It's luxury, just walking onto a train, sitting on it, and just being transported to where I want to go. And a lot of people just don't realize that. I didn't realize it. I didn't think about it. I didn't even know I had a metro stop close to where I lived for a long time. So, and buses seem like, oh, those unfortunate people who have to take the bus. It just seemed like something for other people. They should get rid of the cloth seats, though. The bus is great, but got to get rid of the cloth seats and put it in plastic or something, because come on, man, that cloth has got to absorb so much bacteria and nastiness, and it's possibly liquids. I've been just doing a ton lately, and between work, my day job, and writing. Again, I'm loving the writing. I've been almost entirely off social media, and it's great because I'm like, wow, I get so much more done now. This is awesome. Again, if you want to contact me, you can always comment. Ask something about public transport in LA, because it's hard to know what to say to convey to people about it without getting specific questions about it. It's very affordable. It should be free. For the most part, it's been pleasant for me, but definitely can be unpleasant. I can totally see why it's scary for people, especially older people and women and transgender people. And like, it's just, you're exposed to people who use it, who like, it's like a de facto shelter when, they're in mental episodes and distress, or just bigots or whatever. But it's probably, I'm betting, way safer than driving or being a pedestrian or getting out, because even being a pedestrian on streets like around here, it's like hostile to pedestrians. So much noise, the stress of these heavy vehicles coming by close to you, just shaking your body. It's unpleasant. And riding a bike, it's a thrill. It's great. Oh, and so I love it. It's such great exercise. And scooters, those are especially great. I didn't realize a good way to utilize them is buy a pass, like whatever they offer. Different ones offer different passes, like a day pass or a 60-minute or 80-minute pass. Like Lime offers like 60, 80 minutes, whatever, probably more than that. I've never needed it, where you can ride and it's all paid for, like $18 or $20 for like 80 minutes of usage over the course of the next 3 days. So it like covered me pretty much perfectly to go get groceries, go to a dollar store that's around here, pick up some stuff. I got this cup from the dollar store. Go to a hardware store, go to a thrift store. So that's right, I did. I got a lamp at Goodwill. So it worked out perfectly. I'm like, if you pay every time, you get a charge just for starting it each time. So, like if you buy a pass, it just makes a lot more sense. And on top of that, they're everywhere around here. You go to the other areas, they're not. There's the Metro bike shares. So I encourage people, vote with your tap card. That's what we call it here. It's not like a Metro card. We call it in the DC area. Show them like the ridership that you're using it. Show there's demand for it, that people need it, and they should pay the drivers better. Holy crap, they need to be paid better. I know they're paid like all right to start, but then they're given tons of mandatory overtime, and it's like, well, if you want more drivers, pay them more, and you'll get more people. Sorry, I know that's annoying, but my coffee's gonna get cold. It's great, right? Like, what can I say? It's just awesome being able to get where you need to go, and you don't have to, bury money in the ground with a car. Like, just dump it into a pit. Like, I can't believe how much I spent over the years, and if I was just smarter, like in Virginia, I would have saved tens of thousands of dollars, like, over time. Now, I needed a car to get across the country, and I was homeless, so I was living in my car. So it made sense, but I easily spent over $13,000 or so just on the payments for my Honda Civic, and I was way overpaying for it from this used car dealer. Then on top of that, gas, insurance, maintenance, tires, oil changes, whatever other work I had done. I had a head gasket blow on it. You can probably add, let's just be conservative, like another $6,000 to that. So it's like, I could have taken that money if I was really using my head and just live closer to my jobs. But, that's how you learn the hard way. And, I didn't know. Like, I just didn't know it was an option, like a viable option. I always thought, people, and I used to use the Metro a lot. I didn't have a car until I was like 23 in Virginia. So, like, getting around the whole DC, Maryland area. I would go to the AFI Silver Screen on the Metro. And it was always, hellish to get not hellish, but it was always, miserable to, like, you have to go to Union Station, go to the red line, I think it was, wait, and everybody there is waiting for those lines, or was it the green line? I can't remember. You could probably take like one of two lines to go to Silver Spring, Maryland to get to the AFI. So I was like, well, screw it. I have my luxury. Ooh, a hummingbird. Oh, fuck, you can't see it. Okay. Can you see? Okay, it's buzzing around too fast. But I didn't know. I just thought, oh, public transportation is for those suckers who can't afford a car. And now I'm like, no, that's the image like we associate and put out about it. But the reality is, a car is a burden for a lot of people. If you need it, like, cars are beautiful. Motorcycles are beautiful. I think all bikes are beautiful. It's what you, but you, it's what you, whatever you like should kind of prevail. But that's the thing. If you like it, not if you have to buy a car to get around. A lot of places in LA are not as easy to travel by transit as where I live. I can literally get like about 10 or 12 different bus lines all up and down the street here. So, and I have a bunch of scooter services, not just Lime. There's Superlink. I'm signed up for that too. They give a lot of promotions. There's the Bird scooters. I know there's probably one other one I can't think of. But Lime is probably like the most prevalent that I've seen around here. And then the Metro bike share stations, but people need to speak. People don't know. That's the thing. I didn't know. I wasn't given the opportunity. And even I had this inkling of a thought in my mind when I was living here and still had my car. I'm like, this car is kind of a burden. I'm driving 3 miles to work most days. That's all I need it for. It's always stressful, like getting in and out of it. Like I'm having to start, like sort of transition, like how I'm moving around. And I'm comfortable in my car, don't want to get out, and I want to get there as quickly as possible. And I have this awareness that any extra driving I do, or any extra waiting at a red light when there's no traffic, I'm spending gas and wasting time, and the radio sucked. And I'm paying for this thing. I have to park 5 blocks away. And, it's like I'm paying hundreds and hundreds of dollars for this, $110 a month in insurance, and then gas and maintenance. And I'm like, I'm not getting a whole lot out of it. Parking is stressful, traffic is stressful. So why not, there was a part of me wondering, what if I got rid of my car? But I was like, I don't really know what to do. And that's all. It wasn't that there's no answer there. It's I didn't know what I would do. And I took the bus for a few months when I lost my car, because it was hard for me I was looking to buy another one, but I was dreading it, and I couldn't find any good deals. I wanted to buy from a private seller who took care of the car. I was having a real hard time finding those. So I didn't want to buy from a dealer, and I just started taking the bus. The bus was still free due to the pandemic. LA made it free for a while. Once they started charging for it again, I'm like, I'm not going to pay for the bus, and then it doesn't even show up a lot of times. Like, you have to load up your tap card with money. So I'm like, screw it, I'll get a bike. Bike was expensive, all the helmet, all the accessories I needed for it. But now I'm like, the bike is awesome. It's exhilarating riding it. It's great exercise. I know it's helping keep me healthy, except when I crashed once, but I realized, okay, I should have learned better to ride. Now I know how to ride with one hand easily. You just practice with it. Keep your other hand like close by. If you're practicing with your right hand alone, keep your left hand close. At first, real wobbly. Now I can just do it no problem. I can even turn no problem, although I avoid that. But it makes it easier to signal, because that's how I crashed. I was riding fast, trying to brake and signal. Didn't work. Wobbling, boom, landed on the pavement, hit my ribs. I'm pretty much fully recovered now, I think. I'm able to work out and everything fine. It's just so great not worrying about parking. I was listening to riders at this little get together, just happy hour. I was gonna say party. I was like, well, we were just meeting at a bar, beautiful little bar in West Hollywood, I guess. And they were talking about gas prices, and I'm so glad I'm out of that. I don't have to deal with it, but a lot of people do. So let's give people options. So if you're curious, if you're Metro curious, try it this weekend, because it's free. Try riding around. Just find a cool place, find a stop to get off at, and see a cool place to go. Be safe, be respectful to people. Don't show fear. Don't block the window seat, you jerks. Sit in the window seat. Leave the aisle seat open. You get one seat, not two. unless you like if you have a lot of luggage for something, that's understandable. I've been in that position where it's like, yeah, I was kind of stuck, like I'm carrying so much I can't help it. There are a few places like I'd like to get to that's hard to get to. The food bank, I'd like to shop for groceries there. Not really feasible in under 4 hours to go there and get back, because you gotta wait for the bus, go to the metro, take the metro, get on another bus. So I could ride my bike, but then I'm riding my bike with a huge haul of groceries. So I'm carrying heavy grocery bags on the metro and my bike. It's difficult. So anyways, that's my thought. Just one thought. Let me know your questions about getting around LA on public transport and riding a bike and stuff. Definitely could all be better. Definitely riding a bike could be so much more pleasant in LA. We have perfect weather for it. It should be a no-brainer. You want hundreds of thousands of people to get off the road, out of their cars and onto bikes? Make riding a bike appealing. Put protected bike lanes that are actually separated from the road, not the plastic bollards or whatever they're, Pollards or Pollock, the Jackson Pollock paintings on the side of the road that don't protect you from distracted drivers. See, that's the thing. Yeah, it'll help guide drivers away from you, but it's not a protection from distracted drivers. And people will take the opportunity. They'll do it. So speak up. I started signing up for newsletters from like Streets for All. And so when they say, hey, here's your opportunity to, give a testimony or like make a public comment in favor of, these measures that are in place that should be implemented, because legally, like, they're already in place, but the city just doesn't take action on them, to, make for more pedestrian, bike-friendly, wheelchair-friendly streets and, dedicated bus lanes and all that. Make public comments in support of them. And you can also show up on Zoom to do that. I can't do that a lot of times because it's during my job, but it's not like a stressful process to do that. They're there to listen. They're, generally I'd suspect very nice. And you just make your comment and it's their job, to listen to you and accept what you're saying. So, be persuasive. That's persuasive. You don't scare them. You don't, and, it can happen. So LA is much more affordable. Imagine if LA was just a very affordable place to live and you had a ton of great stuff here. Imagine it's like, yeah, no problem affording rent. I can work 3 days a week, afford my rent, afford groceries, and get around no problem and enjoy it stress-free, not get in a car and drive around and look for parking, and you always got to worry if your car is going to be broken into or stolen or crashed into. So anyways, ask me your questions about it. Other than that, got to get my stuff done, writing, lots and lots of screenwriting. Looking forward to just keep going further down that path. And my mom's doing well, so she really wants to come to LA now. She was telling me, I was sending her pictures from West Hollywood where I was at the other day at that writers get together, and just from the street everywhere, she's like, "Ooh, I wish I had the money just to go get lost there, to go come by." It's like, well, she will eventually, but we got to figure it out. So keep that part of that is in your control. Keep watching, keep liking. Hey, my mom and I'll make cooking videos again someday. So thanks for watching.